The storm, accompanied by heavy hail, hit the city of Joinville, located in the north of the Brazilian state of Santa Catarina. The hailstones were up to 6 centimeters in diameter. Many locals shared photos and videos of the violence of the elements. As a result of a 20-minute hail, many cars, sheds and houses of local residents were damaged. According to local media reports, this event took place at 1400 local time. It is noteworthy that the hail did not fall in the entire city. In some areas the weather was clear. The elements mainly affected the southern, central and northern zones of the city. In addition to large hail, winds with gusts of 22 meters per second were noted, as a result of which several trees were knocked down. There were no casualties and injuries among the local population, not counting material damage. At the moment, work is underway to restore the infrastructure and assess the damage. Four days of intense rain in the African city of Salima in the department of Malawi led to severe flooding. Almost all areas of the city were flooded. Homes and shops of local residents were damaged. The Kamuzu Road, which is the main link between the business area of Salima and Kafateng, was also affected. The heavy rains that caused such floods killed at least 4 people in Malawi and also caused power outages. Malawi had not yet recovered from Tropical Storm Anna, which claimed the lives of at least 30 people, when heavy rainfall began again. Search and rescue teams were deployed to help people trapped due to the disaster. Teams from the Malawi Armed Forces, the police and the Malawian Red Cross Society are involved in the work. In most areas, there were problems with the supply of electricity, which is being restored for the second day. All schools in southern Malawi have suspended classes in schools. A strange event occurred in the city of Ushuaia, which is located in the south of Argentina, when, to the surprise of local residents, more than 40 dolphins jumped out there. According to local residents, what attracted their attention most of all was the strange reaction of the animals, giving the impression that they were disoriented. Some individuals even tried to throw themselves ashore. People took a chance and tried to push them back into the water. Eyewitnesses shared photos and videos of this incident on social networks. Desperate attempts of dolphins to swim back into the sea. The staff of the Naval Prefecture launched an operation to redirect the dolphins back into the open water. The exact cause of the incident is still unknown. It is assumed that the dolphins could swim away from a predator or were disoriented. Recall that Ushuaia is the southernmost city of the earth, located in Patagonia on the very edge of South America, in the Argentine part of the island of Tierra del Fuego. The city of Coban, the capital of the Alta Verapaz department in Guatemala, has experienced heavy rains that have caused localized flooding in many areas. As noted by local media, 80 millimeters of rain fell on the city in 6 hours. As a result of the rampant disaster, at least 1 person died, 2 children are missing. 326 residents were taken out of dangerous areas. Now restoration teams are working there and the damage caused by the flood is being assessed. Local authorities have declared an orange, penultimate, danger level. Humanitarian aid has been sent to the region. Last year, about 30 people died in Guatemala due to rains and floods, and several 100,000 were injured. According to forecasts, in the coming days, precipitation in the region will continue, but the rains will not be so intense. The mega drought that has dried up the US Southwest and parts of Mexico over the past 2 decades is the worst in 1,200 years, researchers say. Human-induced global warming explains more than 40% of drought intensity. Water shortages, leading to occasional restrictions on its use and forcing some communities to import bottled water for drinking. Periodic heavy snowfalls and rains have not been able to make up for this shortage. 2021 has been a particularly dry year. As of February 15, 95% of the western United States was experiencing drought conditions, according to the U.S. government drought monitor. Heavy rains hit the Alas district of Sumbawa district, causing flash floods. It was reported that 6 villages of the Alas subdistrict were flooded by a strong flood. According to preliminary estimates, 700 families were affected. Dozens of houses were destroyed, as well as 4 bridges and several sections of roads. The flood level reaches a mark of 1.5 meters. The authorities have already declared a state of emergency, as well as a yellow weather alert, which will last until at least Friday. In the affected areas, the evacuation of the population is being carried out. Damage inflicted by the element cannot be assessed at this time. Many areas are cut off by high water and there is practically no access to them. There are no casualties among the population, but 3 people are missing. Several dust tornadoes have been observed in the Alto Parana department of Paraguay. In general, there were reports of the passage of 3 dust tornadoes in different areas of the department. But only 2 of them were recorded. According to local media reports, there were no victims after their rampage, as well as, in principle, no damage was noted. One of the dust devils was quite large. Until 2019, tornadoes were observed in Paraguay a maximum of 1 time per year. Already in 2022 alone, 4 dust devils were noted. A series of storms in the Brazilian states of Minas Gerais and Rio de Janeiro caused floods that affected more than 15,000 people and left hundreds homeless. Northwest Rio de Janeiro was hit hardest, where heavy rain caused flooding and landslides. 1,400 people were evacuated from the affected areas. Local authorities have declared a state of emergency. In the neighboring municipality of Laje do Muriai, a river overflowed its banks and caused massive flooding. The water level in the river has risen to 6.46 meters, significantly exceeding the 5.6 meters, indicating a high flood. About 500 people were displaced. In total, about 900 people were affected by the disaster. A strong blizzard and snowfall hit Kazakhstan. Bad weather dominates the center, north, east and south of the country. The picture is aggravated by a strong wind with gusts of up to 28 meters per second. In Nur Sultan, almost 24 flights were postponed due to bad weather. Visibility on the roads is 0. Some sections of Republican and regional highways are closed. Congestion from thousands of cars, and cars that have left get stuck in snowdrifts. During the day, rescuers evacuated 260 people from the roads. People are now in heating points. More than 1,000 pieces of special equipment and over 1,500 road workers are involved in snow clearing in the city. Fog, ice, as well as wind intensification up to 28 meters per second are expected in the regions of Zhombol region, Pavlodar and most of the East Kazakhstan region. The Department of Emergency Situations of Honduras reported that several cities in the departments of Atlantis and Cortez were flooded due to heavy rains that took place on the night of February 15. According to local media from the north of Honduras, entire communities in Yoro, Cortez and Atlantis are suffering from the passage of the cold front through the territory of the country. Heavy rains provoked landslides in some areas, as well as the destruction of roads. From this Monday, 3 departments of the country have been declared a yellow weather alert. As a result of the flooding of the rivers, the fire service evacuated more than 300 residents living in the northern zone. The flood level in some areas remains quite high, from 50 centimeters to 1.5 meters. As a result of the violence of the elements, no casualties were noted among the local population. Thank you for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Good wind and weather.